Hello, I'm your host, Shristi Lolam, and welcome to SPOTcast. I'm joined by my guests, Raquel Caballero, August McElvogue, and Danishel Hernandez. Within this past weekend, 19 shootings left 5 dead with 28 victims in South Philly. These people were in their late 20s to early 30s. Police Commissioner Richard Ross described this event as alarming because nearly 90% of homicides this year have been committed by guns, which is 5% higher than in recent years. Due to these events, as a teenager approaching their adulthood, can we consider ourselves safe in this country? And if not, should we relocate? This is SPOTcast. Are you guys aware of the recent shootings in South Philly?
No, I was not aware.
I was not aware.
I was aware, but because I did some recent research on it, so kind of.
Is it alarming that homicides committed with guns have gone up?
Yeah, I mean, I find it alarming that any homicide rate increases, but especially with guns, because guns are sort of improving as technology improves and making it a lot easier to kill or harm a lot more people in one. And yeah.
I agree with August that it is alarming that rates of homicide is going up, but at this point, anything can be used as a weapon, such as guns, knives, a spoon.
I kind of don't find it alarming that these homicides are being committed with guns, since within recent years or news it's been happening constantly, so I don't really find it that alarming that people are getting killed by guns a lot. So
should people have easy access to firearms?
People should have easy access to firearms because we don't know what kind of intentions they have with them, whether they want to go in and shoot up a school or they want to use it as hunting gear. But I do think that we should have stricter, we should have stronger restrictions against firearms, that people with underage should not be able to get them so easily.
I mean, a gun's only purpose really is to kill or seriously harm someone. So the fact that they're so easy to get to, especially continuously, because now here in Arizona you can just get one by being a certain age. I just really feel like it shouldn't be that easy to get a firearm because they're so dangerous, and they're really their only purpose is to hurt someone.
Is it necessary for people to own firearms?
I guess it depends on what they believe in. For example, some people think that owning a firearm gives them protection or they feel safer with one, but others use it for, as I said before, hunting, but then again, there's also illegal hunting.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's really necessary. Some people would consider it, though. Some people consider guns necessary to use in self-defense, but I personally disagree.
For me, I don't think it's really necessary for people to have guns, but August said, there are some certain circumstances where people buy a gun to be protected or protect themselves from something, but I don't feel it's really necessary for other people or basically anyone to go into a shop and buy a gun so easily.
As minorities, where do you guys stand on police brutality?
I mean, I think it's bad, and I think that everyone, whether they're a minority or not, should think it's bad, because police using power to hurt us instead of helping us as their job is supposed to be is pretty bad, because they understand that they have power over us and they're using it to harm us instead of doing their job, which is to help keep our community safe.
Yeah, I also disagree with police brutality because their sole purpose is to protect us, but sometimes these police go out and purposely target minority groups such as Hispanics, African American community, and these people are doing absolutely nothing. They're innocent, just walking calmly down the street, and these police come up and just pull out a gun on them.
Yeah, I think as someone who's a part of the Hispanic or Latino community, I think police brutality is something that I'm kind of like constantly scared of. So for example, if I like walk down the street, I have that constant like fear in the back of my mind that a police is gonna like pull up and just pull a gun on me for no apparent reason, where I was doing absolutely nothing to danger themselves or anyone else around me.
Do you guys think that police officials abuse their power in using guns on a daily basis?
Yes, I do think that they abuse their power, and some people want to become police officers for the sole reason that they get to hold a gun with them at all times.
Should gun laws be restricted for the benefit of our future society?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I think so. Especially because guns are being used a lot more nowadays in just a lot of different situations. So having them restricted, making it harder to get to these guns, may like decrease these situations a lot. For example, in Australia, after a few school shootings, they implemented gun laws that made it harder for people to access guns, and now I don't think they've had a school shooting in a few years.
I think gun laws should be restricted for the benefit of our future society, because personally I don't want to be walking down a street towards school like any other civilian and suddenly be pulled over by a cop and be held at gunpoint. And I feel like that's just going to be, if this continues, it's going to be more of a danger towards younger kids, especially if they're identified in a minority group.
If these laws cannot be restricted and the gun violence continues, should we relocate?
I mean, if no one's doing anything to stop them and they continue to get worse and there's like sort of no way around it, then I think relocating would be an option, you know? If we can't do anything here, then we probably should move to somewhere safer and where we can live a happier life because we are safer.
I mean, I think it probably depends on like each person and their perspective. One person can decide whether to leave the country or like move out of the country or move to a different state. It just like, I guess it just depends on like each person and what they're trying to do to better themselves or move away from their problem. They could move away from the problem and move away to like a better area, like another state that has like more like restricted like gun laws, or just move out of like the country to not end up dealing with the problem ever.
And that will do it for this episode of SPOTcast. I would like to thank my guests, Raquel Caballero, August McElvogue, and Danishel Hernandez. For Spot 127, I'm Shristi Lolam.